You probably picture ancient humans asleep in a dark cave for 8 solid hours. The truth is so much stranger than that. Their nights were busy, loud, and genuinely dangerous. In many ways, they lived a whole second life after sunset, and almost everything we believe about good sleep, they would have found ridiculous. So here is what humans actually did all night, for hundreds of thousands of years. First, you have to understand the dark, real dark, with no streetlights and no glow from a phone. When the sun dropped, the world switched owners. The night belonged to animals with far better eyes than ours. Lions, hyenas, and leopards do their hunting after dark. To an early human, night was the most lethal time to be alive. So humans did the one thing that changed our species forever. They gathered around fire. Fire pushed back the dark, scared off predators, and kept everyone warm. But a fire only protects you if it stays lit, so someone always had to keep it burning. All night, people took turns feeding the flames, half asleep, listening to the dark. Tending that fire until dawn may be one of the oldest forms of teamwork on Earth. Now here is the first big surprise. They did not sleep more than you. They slept less. Scientists wired up modern hunter-gatherers and found they sleep only about 6.5 hours. That is less than the 8 hours you feel guilty about missing. Even stranger, they almost never lay awake unable to fall asleep. Some groups don't even have a word for insomnia. The idea barely exists. What put them to sleep wasn't darkness. It was the cold. As the night air cooled, their bodies cooled, and that drop pulled them under. They drifted off a few hours after sunset and woke just before dawn. No alarm, no snooze. Their sleep tracked the planet itself, the temperature, the light, the turning of the night. You, on the other hand, fight your own biology every single night. Bright screens tell your brain it is still daytime, so the sleepiness never arrives. Caffeine, alarms, and electric light shoved your sleep into a shape evolution never designed. Ancient humans didn't need a perfect dark bedroom. They slept rougher, lighter, and better. Which raises a question. If they slept so little, what were they doing with all that night? The answer is the most human thing imaginable. They talked. Researchers recorded what people discuss by day versus by night, and the difference stunned them. By day, the talk was practical. Work, food, who did what, arguments, and gossip. But once the fire was lit and the work was done, the conversation completely transformed. At night, by the flames, people told stories, long ones, about spirits, ancestors, and faraway lands. This firelight storytelling may be where imagination, myth, and culture itself were born. If the idea that culture began around a campfire just gave you chills, subscribe. This whole channel is exactly this, the hidden story of being human. Because around that fire, humans didn't just tell stories. They sang, they danced, they laughed, and they passed down everything one generation knew to the next. No writing, no books. The night, the fire, and the human voice were the only library. Every law, recipe, map, and legend a tribe owned lived inside someone's memory, retold after dark. Firelight stretched the day, giving humans hours to be social that sunlight never gave. Some scientists think this nighttime talk is what bonded strangers into tribes. The campfire wasn't just warmth, it was the world's first social network. But comfort at the fire never erased the danger waiting just beyond the light. A sleeping group is an easy meal, so humans evolved a clever, invisible defense. In any group, people fall asleep and wake at slightly different times. The young stay up late, the old wake before dawn. Almost no one is fully out at once. One study found a moment when the whole group was asleep at once that lasted only minutes. For nearly the whole night, at least one person was awake, a living, breathing alarm system. They call it the sentinel effect, and it may explain why grandparents wake so early today. Your early rising relatives are basically running ancient guard duty software, and nobody slept alone. Sleeping apart would have been strange, even deadly. Whole families slept piled close, sharing warmth and safety through the night. They slept on the ground, on hides and leaves, with the fire at their backs. Compare that to you, alone in a dark, silent room, quietly wondering why you feel uneasy. Your brain still expects the fire, the group, and the sound of other people breathing. Some of your worst nights might just be an ancient body missing its tribe. Without clocks, the night sky was their calendar and their compass. The moon told them the date, the stars told them direction and season. A full bright moon meant a safer, busier night. They could travel, hunt, and move camp. A dark, moonless night meant staying close to the fire and waiting it out. And when they finally slept, their dreams were not just background noise. Many cultures believed dreams were messages from ancestors, spirits, or the future. A vivid dream could decide where to hunt tomorrow, or what a whole tribe should fear. Sleep wasn't just switching off. It was a doorway they took seriously. Every culture built meaning into the night, long before we built lamps to erase it. Then, in a blink of evolutionary time, we flipped a switch and changed all of it. Electric light arrived, and suddenly the night became optional. We pushed sleep later, traded fire for screens, and the old rhythm quietly broke. We started waking in the night and panicking, and we called it a disorder. But waking in the dark may be the most natural, ancient thing your body still does. Your ancestors weren't worse sleepers than you. They were connected to a night you've never known. Fire, family, stories, and a sky full of stars. So tonight, when you wake in the dark, remember you're not broken. You're ancient. Subscribe, and next time, I'll show you the strange things ancient humans did to their own bodies on purpose.